There is one truth that connects every human experience, joy and pain alike. Nothing stays the same forever. The moments that challenge you, the seasons that test you, and even the victories you celebrate are all temporary. Understanding this truth is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to empower you, because when you truly accept that everything is temporary, you realize you have the power to choose how you think, how you respond, and how you grow. A positive mindset is not about pretending life is perfect. It is about believing that no matter what you are facing, you will not stay there forever. It is about knowing that today's struggle does not define tomorrow's potential. When you build a positive mindset, you are not denying reality. You are strengthening yourself to rise above it. Life will bring uncertainty. There will be moments when plans fall apart, relationships change, and expectations are not met. In those moments, your mindset becomes your anchor. A positive mindset reminds you that pain is a chapter, not the whole story. It teaches you that endings make room for beginnings, and setbacks prepare you for growth you cannot yet see. When you understand that everything is temporary, you stop clinging to fear. You stop believing that difficult moments are permanent conditions. You begin to breathe differently. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to see challenges as teachers rather than punishments. This shift does not remove hardship, but it transforms how you experience it. Building a positive mindset also changes how you experience joy. You learn to be present. You appreciate moments instead of rushing past them. You understand that happiness is not something to postpone until life is perfect. It is something to practice now, even while you are still becoming. Your mindset shapes your energy, your decisions, and your relationships. When you choose positivity, you choose resilience, you choose hope over fear, growth over stagnation, and faith over doubt. You begin to respond instead of react. You learn to speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. This inner dialogue becomes the foundation of your confidence and peace. Everything you are going through is shaping you, not breaking you. The storms you survive strengthen your character. The waiting seasons teach patience. The uncertain moments teach trust. And through it all, a positive mindset reminds you that change is always possible. So when life feels heavy, remind yourself that this moment will pass. When life feels joyful, honor it fully. Knowing it too is precious and fleeting. Build a mindset that allows you to move through every season with grace, courage, and hope. Because everything is temporary, but the strength you build within yourself lasts a lifetime. Everything in life moves. Seasons change, emotions shift, circumstances evolve, and even the moments that feel endless eventually transform. Understanding impermanence is not about accepting loss with resignation. It is about recognizing that change is the natural rhythm of life. When you truly understand that nothing lasts forever, you stop fearing difficult moments and start seeing them as temporary chapters rather than permanent realities. Many people suffer not because of what they are experiencing, but because they believe it will never end. Pain feels heavier when you think it has no exit. Struggle feels unbearable when it appears permanent. Impermanence reminds you that this moment, no matter how intense, is passing. This awareness alone can bring relief, calm, and hope. Understanding impermanence gives you emotional freedom. You stop attaching your identity to temporary situations. You are not your failures, and you are not defined by your setbacks. These are experiences, not labels. When you separate who you are from what you are going through, you reclaim your sense of self. You begin to move through challenges with greater clarity and confidence. Impermanence also teaches patience. Growth rarely happens instantly. Healing takes time. Transformation unfolds in stages. When you accept that change is gradual, you stop rushing your process. You learn to trust timing instead of forcing outcomes. This patience reduces anxiety and creates space for intentional action rather than impulsive decisions. There is also strength in knowing that success and comfort are temporary as well. This truth encourages humility and gratitude. You learn to appreciate moments of peace, joy, and achievement without becoming attached or complacent. Instead of fearing loss, you honor the present. Gratitude becomes deeper when you understand how fleeting each moment truly is. Understanding impermanence builds resilience. When life presents challenges, you are less likely to collapse under pressure. You know that storms pass. You know that emotions rise and fall. You know that even confusion and uncertainty have an expiration date. This mindset allows you to stay grounded during difficult times and hopeful during uncertain ones. Impermanence also encourages courage. When you understand that nothing stays the same, you are more willing to take risks, speak your truth, and pursue growth. Fear often comes from the belief that failure is permanent. But when you realize that even failure is temporary, fear loses its power. You become more open to learning, experimenting, and evolving. Morning reflection is a powerful way to reinforce this mindset. By reminding yourself at the start of each day that today's challenges are temporary, you create emotional balance. You face the day with calm determination rather than dread. This practice does not deny difficulty, it strengthens your ability to handle it. In conclusion, understanding impermanence is not about detachment, it is about empowerment. It reminds you that no moment defines you forever. Life is constantly unfolding, reshaping, and renewing itself. When you accept this truth, you build a positive mindset rooted in resilience, patience, and hope. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is a reminder that change is always possible, and with change comes growth. Life does not always change the way we expect it to. There are moments when plans collapse, timelines shift, and certainty disappears. In these moments, what shapes your experience most is not what is happening, but how you choose to see it. Perspective is powerful. It can turn obstacles into opportunities, pain into wisdom, and uncertainty into a doorway for growth. When life feels uncertain, the mind often seeks control. It asks questions without answers and imagines outcomes rooted in fear. This is a natural response, but it does not have to lead you. Choosing your perspective means acknowledging uncertainty without letting it define your future. It means reminding yourself that clarity often comes after movement, not before it. A positive mindset does not deny difficulty. It reframes it. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin to ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift changes your relationship with challenge. You move from resistance to curiosity, from fear to awareness. Growth begins when you stop fighting uncertainty and start learning from it. Perspective also influences emotional resilience. When you believe that a difficult situation is permanent, emotions intensify. Stress becomes overwhelming. Fear becomes paralyzing. But when you remember that everything is temporary, emotions soften. You give yourself permission to feel without being consumed. This emotional balance allows you to respond with wisdom instead of reacting from panic. Choosing your perspective requires practice. It is built through daily awareness and intentional thought. Every morning, you can decide how you want to interpret the day ahead. You can choose to see challenges as burdens or as opportunities to strengthen your character. You can choose to see waiting as wasted time or as preparation for what comes next. Perspective also shapes self-compassion. During uncertain times, people often become harsh with themselves. They blame themselves for delays, mistakes, or perceived failures. A positive mindset reminds you that growth is not linear. Setbacks do not mean you are doing life wrong. They mean you are learning. When you speak to yourself with kindness, your mind becomes a place of safety rather than criticism. Uncertainty often carries hidden gifts. It invites reflection. It encourages flexibility. It pushes you to trust yourself instead of relying solely on external stability. When you accept uncertainty as part of the journey, you discover inner strength you may not have known existed. You learn that you are capable of adapting, adjusting, and continuing forward even when the path is unclear. Perspective also affects how you treat others. When you understand that everyone is navigating their own temporary struggles, empathy grows, judgment fades, compassion deepens. This awareness strengthens relationships and creates connection instead of division. A positive mindset does not isolate you. It brings you closer to understanding both yourself and others. In conclusion, choosing your perspective during uncertain times is a powerful act of self-leadership. When you remember that uncertainty is temporary, you reclaim your sense of peace and direction. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and start trusting your ability to move forward anyway. A positive mindset does not promise certainty, but it gives you the strength to face uncertainty with clarity, and hope. Life does not always give us what we expect, but it always gives us what we need to grow. Emotional resilience is not about avoiding pain or pretending everything is fine. It is about accepting what is while believing in what can become. Acceptance does not mean surrendering your dreams. It means releasing resistance to the present moment so you can move forward with clarity and strength. Many people exhaust themselves fighting reality. They replay the past, resist change, and wish circumstances were different. This internal struggle creates more suffering than the situation itself. Acceptance invites peace. When you accept where you are without judgment, your mind becomes calmer and your energy becomes available for healing and growth. Acceptance allows emotions to move through you rather than remain stuck. Suppressed emotions often resurface as anxiety, frustration, or burnout. When you allow yourself to feel sadness, disappointment, or fear without labeling them as weakness, those emotions lose their intensity. They become messages rather than obstacles. Emotional resilience grows when you honor your feelings instead of ignoring them. Building resilience also requires trust. Trust that you can handle what you are experiencing. Trust that this moment is shaping you, not damaging you. When you believe in your ability to adapt, you stop fearing discomfort. You understand that resilience is built through experience, not comfort. Each challenge strengthens your emotional muscles, preparing you for future seasons. Acceptance also teaches patience. Healing and growth rarely happen overnight. Emotional resilience develops gradually through reflection, self-compassion, and consistent effort. When you stop rushing your process, you give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. This patience reduces self-criticism and creates space for genuine transformation. A positive mindset is strengthened when acceptance is paired with hope. Acceptance acknowledges the present. Hope believes in the future. Together, they create balance. You stop resisting what is while still working toward what you desire. This balance keeps you grounded without becoming stagnant. Morning reflection can support this practice by starting your day with a simple check-in, acknowledging how you feel and reminding yourself that emotions are temporary. You create emotional stability. You approach the day with awareness instead of avoidance. This daily habit builds emotional resilience over time. Acceptance also enhances compassion. When you accept your own struggles, you become more understanding of others. You recognize that everyone is carrying something unseen. This awareness softens judgment and strengthens connection. Emotional resilience is not just personal, it shapes how you show up in relationships and communities. In conclusion, building emotional resilience through acceptance is a powerful step toward a positive mindset. When you stop resisting reality and start trusting yourself, you reclaim your peace. Acceptance allows emotions to pass, lessons to emerge, and strength to grow. Remember, everything you are feeling is temporary, but the resilience you build through acceptance will serve you for a lifetime. Gratitude is more than a feeling. It is a discipline that steadies the mind during both calm and challenging times. When life feels uncertain or overwhelming, gratitude becomes an anchor. It does not erase difficulties, but it reminds you of what remains steady, supportive, and meaningful. Practicing gratitude helps you stay grounded in the present moment while trusting that everything, including hardship, is temporary. Many people wait for life to improve before they feel grateful, but gratitude works best when practiced during imperfect moments. When you consciously acknowledge what is still good, even in the middle of struggle, your perspective shifts. You begin to see that pain and blessings can exist at the same time. This awareness strengthens emotional balance and prevents despair from taking over. Gratitude stabilizes the mind by redirecting attention. The mind naturally focuses on what is missing or going wrong. Gratitude gently trains it to notice what is present and supportive. This shift does not deny reality, it broadens it. You start to recognize small victories, quiet moments of peace, and lessons hidden within challenges. Over time, this habit reshapes how you experience life. Practicing gratitude also softens fear. When you appreciate what you have, you reduce anxiety about losing it. You learn to enjoy moments without clinging to them. This understanding creates emotional freedom. You stop living in constant anticipation of loss and start living in appreciation of now. Gratitude allows joy to be fully experienced without fear. Gratitude strengthens resilience because it builds emotional stability. When you regularly acknowledge what you are thankful for, your mind becomes less reactive. Setbacks feel lighter. Delays feel manageable. You become more patient with yourself and others. This emotional steadiness helps you navigate change with grace rather than resistance. Morning gratitude is especially powerful. Beginning the day by identifying even one thing you are grateful for sets a positive tone. It reminds you that no matter what lies ahead, you already have something to stand on. This practice can be simple: a quiet thought, a written note, or a moment of reflection. What matters is consistency, not complexity. Gratitude also deepens self-compassion. When you appreciate your efforts, your growth, and your perseverance, you stop measuring your worth by outcomes alone. You honor the journey, not just the destination. This self-recognition builds confidence and reduces self-criticism. A grateful mind becomes a kinder mind. Practicing gratitude changes how you relate to others. You become more appreciative, more patient, and more present. Relationships strengthen when gratitude replaces expectation. You learn to value people for who they are rather than what they provide. This shift creates deeper connection and emotional fulfillment. In conclusion, practicing gratitude stabilizes your mind by grounding you in the present and reminding you of what endures. It helps you move through temporary challenges with calm and clarity. Gratitude does not eliminate pain, but it balances it with perspective and hope. When practiced daily, gratitude becomes a powerful tool for maintaining a positive mindset even when life is in transition. Change is often misunderstood. Many people fear it because it disrupts comfort and challenges identity. But change is not the enemy. It is the evidence that life is moving, teaching, and evolving. When you trust change, you stop fighting life and start growing with it. Building a positive mindset means learning to see change as a partner rather than a threat, especially when everything feels temporary. Trusting change begins with acceptance. You recognize that resistance only prolongs discomfort. Change will happen whether you are ready or not. When you trust it, you allow yourself to adapt with grace instead of fear. This trust creates emotional flexibility, helping you move forward without carrying unnecessary weight from the past. Committing to growth means choosing learning over comfort. Growth often requires letting go of familiar patterns, beliefs, and habits that no longer serve you. This process can feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of expansion. Every season of growth asks something different of you. When you commit to evolving, you honor your potential rather than clinging to familiarity. A positive mindset understands that setbacks are not stops, they are pauses for learning. When progress feels slow, it is easy to lose faith. But growth is rarely visible in the moment. It happens quietly beneath the surface. Trusting change means believing that even when you cannot see results, something within you is shifting and strengthening. Trusting change also deepens self-trust. You begin to believe in your ability to handle whatever comes next. This confidence does not come from certainty, but from experience. Each challenge you navigate reinforces the belief that you are capable. Over time, fear of the unknown is replaced with curiosity and courage. Growth requires consistency. It is not built through dramatic moments, but through small, daily choices. Choosing healthier thoughts, choosing patience over panic, choosing reflection over reaction. These choices may seem insignificant, but repeated over time, they transform your mindset and your life. Morning intention can support this commitment. By reminding yourself each day that change is temporary and growth is ongoing, you set a powerful mental tone. You approach the day with openness rather than resistance. This mindset allows you to respond to life with clarity and purpose. Trusting change also changes how you define success. Success becomes less about control and more about alignment, less about perfection and more about progress. You learn to celebrate effort, resilience, and self-awareness. This shift brings peace because you no longer measure your worth by outcomes alone. In conclusion, trusting change and committing to growth completes the foundation of a positive mindset. When you accept that everything is temporary, you stop fearing transformation and start welcoming it. Change becomes a teacher, growth becomes a choice, and your mindset becomes your greatest strength. By trusting life's transitions and committing to your evolution, you build inner stability that lasts even as everything around you continues to change. Life is a series of moments, seasons, and transitions. Some arrive gently, others unexpectedly. What remains within your control through all of them is your mindset. When you understand that everything is temporary, you stop fearing change and start trusting your ability to grow through it. You realize that no emotion, challenge, or circumstance defines you forever. Building a positive mindset is not about escaping hardship. It is about meeting life with courage, compassion, and clarity. It is about allowing emotions to pass without letting them shape your identity. It is about practicing gratitude when things feel uncertain and choosing growth even when the path ahead is unclear. Every difficult season is preparing you for a wiser version of yourself. Every moment of waiting is strengthening your patience. Every change is inviting you to become more resilient, more aware, and more aligned with who you are meant to be. When you shift your mindset, you shift your experience of life. Remember, this moment will pass. So will the pain, the doubt, and the fear. But the strength, awareness, and resilience you build by choosing a positive mindset will stay with you. Carry that truth with you. Trust change. Stay present. Keep growing, because everything is temporary, but the way you rise through it can last a lifetime.